Am I live? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? One, two, three. Can you hear me? Hi. Okay. We are live. Hi everyone. I just thought I will pop on just for a very, very minute kind of minutes because I've been getting this question and I figured I might as well answer it in one go so that if anybody else asks this question, you're going to know the answer. And basically, um, I've been doing a number of first installations. So if you don't know what a first installation is, it's basically doing a first time hair system on a client. And one of the questions that gets popped up or everyone's asking is, what products can I use on my hair and do I have to buy a whole lot of them? So I'm here to answer that question in terms of like, what are the products you should use? Now, I'm going to be answering based on what I will tell my customer because we do have products that we use and they're really cool. But I'll also give you some sort of an idea as to why I'm recommending these products so that if you wanted to go and buy something similar, you can. I always say that, especially when it comes to these hair systems, you spend a lot of money on them. They're not cheap things. They are, they're number one, they're a priority. There's something that you're gonna need to look after the hair because the hair itself um, is no longer attached to the scalp, so therefore it doesn't get nutrients from anything other than what you put on it. So, and the word on it is important because it doesn't receive its nutrients, even if you put like the best products in the whole wide world, it's not going to receive the nutrients in the same way as it would if it's attached to your actual scalp. Because, yeah, the way God intended things is totally different to the way we can do things because we can only compromise. And there's always, like I say, the 80-20 rule 80% of the way, 20% of the other way doesn't work. So, anyhow, I digress today. And I said I was only going to come for a short space of time, and I really don't want to be here too long, but I do want to answer this question. So, generally speaking, when it comes to hair systems, what they need the most is condition. They need conditioner, conditioner, conditioner all day long, especially if you've got something that's light and blonde. So, if your natural hair was blonde, you would also need to condition it the same way with hair systems, hair extensions. If you've got real blonde hair, you need to condition, condition, condition because it will go super dry, super quickly, super easily. Now, if you've got darker hair, I'm not saying that you don't need conditioner, but it's not the same level of issue that you're going to be experiencing as you would be with blonde hair. Oh my gosh, tongue tied. Have no. Oh gosh. Okay, let me say that again, just in case you did not get it. So, if you've got dark hair, yes, you do need to condition your hair. But if you've got blonde hair, it is imperative that you condition your hair. You cannot get away without conditioning your hair if it's blonde because otherwise it's going to go super dry. So, what I recommend to my customers, we deal with one particular supplier, and they are called DL Hair, and this is our supplier that we deal with a lot of things. So, you've seen us talk about their lace strips, and I think I've got quite a few videos on the argan oil, which is super, super cool. So I'm not going to really go too much around this today, but this is in the pack. But I will talk about the treatment, which is, it's a hair mask treatment. You can see that, and it is super cool and super, super essential. If you do not use anything else, if you don't even shampoo your hair, you must use this. I'm not telling you not to shampoo your hair because you really do need to shampoo your hair, but you definitely need to use this. This is a treatment mask. It's a conditioner. It doesn't smell as nice as the argan oil, I'd say, but it smells okay. It's pleasant. You can see. You get actually quite a big tub. So this is 250 ml. So that's quite a big tub. But, I would say use this. I don't say use this sparingly. I say use this lavishly. Use this lavishly. Like, lavish it all over your hair. Just kind of like smooth it all into your hair, into all the different elements of your hair. Just give your hair that extra piece of love with this treatment. Now, I would say this is a must. So what I tend to say to my clients is, I would recommend very, very basic. If they're like, well, we don't have that much money and we want to bear the basics, then I would say the shampoo. This is the key because you obviously need to shampoo your hair. And then I would talk about using the mask as well. And I would say every single time you shampoo, use your mask. So use this as a conditioner. This is actually a treatment, but I would say use this as a conditioner. If that's the only thing that you're getting, definitely get the shampoo and then get the mask. Okay, so those are two things. Now, the other things which I'm going to mention, which are add-ons, which are also good to have. And hello, guys. Who's in the chat? Let me see. Hello. Hi. Hi, Ben, Nathania. How are you doing? Nice for you to come on. Yeah, send me a hi, send me a chat. Just, ask me any questions. I'll answer them for you because I am absolutely live. This is not a recording. This is me live, 100%, unless you're watching it on the replay. Right now, I am live. So, got any questions? Do ask them away. If you want to know prices, I'm going to let you know what the prices are. So then the other two things, which are really, really good, is the protein spray. So in terms of sequence, wash, condition, protein, and then heat defense. So the protein is good because, as you know, hair is made of protein. And essentially, when the hair is no longer attached to the scalp, it loses all the nutrients are being washed away anyway because it goes through a process. So what this protein does is that it adds that kind of protein back in. So it gives it a level of healthiness. So I would say that this is also a good product because it gives you back that, sometimes hair can lose its luster. It might not seem as bouncy. It might not seem as fresh, especially I'm talking to you blonde hair ladies like myself at the moment. I've got two different colours in, so I kind of go across the spectrum just because. But blonde hair ladies, you definitely need to use the protein spray. It will do you wonders. It definitely will help you a lot. Now, and then on top of that, then I would say the heat protector. This is a shake and protect. I love this. I really do. I love it. I think that, let me smell this as well. Yeah, this smells really cool. So all of this is available on our website. So I would say you first of all would use the protein spray and then you go in and use the heat protector. Now, all of this stuff you use when your hair is wet. So you don't want to be using the protein spray when your hair is dry. When your hair is wet, you use this. When your hair is wet, you use the heat defense. The only one that I would use if it's dry is the argan oil. So you can technically and actually, not just technically, but actually replace this with just this. You can do that. So again, if you're on a budget and you're like, say, Clara, what's the minimal products to use? I would, okay, and you don't want to use those two, although I recommend those highly. I would say these three products, the shampoo, your conditioner, and then your argan oil. These three. It's not Algapur. Why do I call it argan? Algapur. The Algapur thermal treatment. I would say use those three. But actually, in reality, I would say get the starter kit. Get the starter kit. So we've got a starter kit that's online at the moment, and as you can see there, I put the QR code. It is £70 only for the starter kit, and in the starter kit you get everything I've just mentioned. So what do you get? You get. Should I do it in order? Let's do it in order. You get the shampoo, which is rhubarb and rose, and it smells so divine. All their products pretty much smell divine. Like, this is probably the most neutral one, but, nevertheless, it still has like a slight tint to it, but it's still good. It's not like, sometimes you can get some deep treatments and they just smell awful and you don't want to put them on your head. This is not one of them. So, the shampoo. You get this. This is all included in the pack of 70 quid. £70 starter kit, and it will last you, at least the shampoo and conditioner, you're looking a couple of months it's going to last you. And it's going to be way cheaper than getting them individually. So again, shampoo. Then the treatment. So this is the treatment mask. You want to get those two. Then you want to what's also included is the protein spray. And I said to you, like, if you use this protein spray, it will do wonders for your hair. Don't just kind of like take my word for it. Buy it and find out for yourself. This will do wonders for your hair. And the other thing would be the heat and heat defense. The reason why I think this is really good is not only because of the base, because obviously this is more of an oil base, this is more of a water base, not just because of the base, because or the color, or the fact that you can shake it and it kind of like looks really funky, but it's great on wet hair. Really great on wet hair. So this is before you use your hair dryer. So if you are using hair dryer on your hair and you're not using any kind of product to protect your hair, it's not going to last. I've had clients that have used all of these products and their hair is super, super good, super good. Like I'm even asking them, what do you put in your hair? Like it's that strong. It's that good. So the shake and protect heat defense, 250 ml, and they're all 250 mls apart from this 250. Yeah, they're all 250 ml. So they're big, massive sizes for just £70. It's just £70. It's a bargain. It's an absolute bargain. It's a steal. It's a steal. It's a steal. You need to get one. So that is my train of thought. And then in addition to that, you get the shake and protect, the heat defense. You definitely need to get this, and then the thermal alcohol. So those are the 5 products that you get. That's in our starter kit. And I've selected each and all of these products because I believe they're important. They are so important for your hair. Especially, again, I'm talking to you blonde ladies. If you've got blonde hair like myself, or even lighter, you want to have products that are going to protect your hair. Now, if your hair is darker, they're still going to work, and it's just going to make your hair last much, much longer than ordinarily that it would last. However, I would say dark hair, you can get away with using the treatment and the shampoo. But for blonde hair, you can't. I'm sorry. You can't. Unless, of course, you want to replace your hair every 3 months. But then you're talking about thousands every 3 months. Why do that when you could just spend 70 quid and actually protect your hair longer? So that was all I came to pop up on and say to you guys, because, yeah, I've got a very busy day. But I really wanted you to know, because I keep getting asked the question, and I figured if you get asked the same question over and over again, then it's only telling you one thing. And guess what it's telling you? An answer is required. So that's the answer. That's the answer. If you're watching it live, you've got the ability to ask me any question, even outside of what I've just spoken about. If you've got any question, ask them, and I will answer you right here, right now. If you're not watching live, then yeah, you're not watching live. Okay, yeah. I am just going through. Let me see. Anybody asking questions? Okay. So I've got no questions today. That's cool. Super cool. I guess I must have been very clear. So before I go, I am going to go run through it again. Now, the individual prices are on the website, and I think these are £15 each. So yeah, exactly. So each of these are £15, and I think this is actually £20 on the website. I need to double check. I think this is £20 on the website, and the rest are £15. So essentially, if you get them all as a bundle, you are making a super, super saving. And that's because I know that they all work really well together. So the more you buy, the cheaper it becomes. That's the law of what? What law? What law is that one? Yeah. That's the law of Clara. Yeah, that's the law of Clara. Okay. Anyway, I'm not just going to stay here and waffle. I've told you, and I've told you, and I've told you. So we don't have many of these in stock. So if you are interested, please go to the website. Apologies, I did not give you the website. www.claraalexanderloves.shop. That's www.claraalexanderloves.shop. So go to the website. The QR code is up on top if you want to scan it. If it's not on top, I'm going to put it on top right there. Oh, the QR code is there for you to scan right now. And if you're on your phone, I know you can't scan it, but you can type this in, www.claraloves.shop. So if you want any of these products or anything else that we're selling, just go to the shop, and hopefully you will be pleasantly pleased. So that's all I've got for today. Take Oh, wow. Another good thing about the Argo pot is that if you drop it on the floor, it will not break. See, look, it didn't break. Anyway, okay, guys, I shall be off, and I will see you soon. Take care and have a good day. Bye.